What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Dugout Dispatch with my right-hand man over here. I'm going to get it right one of these days. Tyler Edmonds, everybody, one of the co-hosts from Cubs on Tap and one of the co-hosts right here on Dugout Dispatch. I'm Steve Joel here with you, one of the co-hosts from the Water Boys College Football Show. We're talking about some baseball today, though. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and we're going to start right with all kinds of craziness that's already going on in the off season, from trade rumors stuff, new TV deals being worked out for next season. So we're going to get into it right now. Major League Baseball has a new 3-year media rights deal with ESPN for the 2026 to 2028 seasons, which includes ESPN becoming the distributor of MLB TV and acquiring a new 30-game national midweek game package. ESPN will also handle the in-market streaming rights for 6 teams: the Cleveland Guardians, the San Diego Padres, the Minnesota Twins, the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Colorado Rockies, and the Seattle Mariners through the ESPN app. Tyler, what do you think? You think it's going to be like the NFL and we're just going to have to pay over $1,000 for 28 different subscriptions to watch some freaking baseball, man? What are we going to do?
I mean, hopefully my MLB TV package you're still probably going to have the blackouts, but at least hopefully with this and all these groups coming together to work out a deal, hopefully the days that when my team plays teams like Cincinnati, I won't have to worry about the blackout, because maybe I'll have another option as far as watching it on TBS, watching it on ESPN, watching it on NBC or Fox or anything like that. Which, by the way, Fox blows it out of the water when it comes to baseball and just their production. It's great. ESPN, don't get me wrong, ESPN, just when we all thought that baseball, which I don't think baseball tonight is still going to be around. It may or may not be, but man, their productions on Sunday night are great too. It almost sounds like they have microphones literally everywhere, whether it's the inside the cup of the bat or inside somebody's glove or anything like that. It's great too. And I want to say Netflix may be showing a few games next season. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought I read that somewhere. I know Peacock's been around on Sunday mornings for the past few years, but and again, maybe I read that wrong, but
on this and TBS. So Fox and FS1 will continue as the home of the World Series. LCS and DS games, All-Star games, 2026 World Baseball Classic, and select regular season and special event games. TBS will continue as the home of League Championship Series and Division Series games, plus regular season games on Tuesday nights. Apple TV will continue to stream Friday night baseball doubleheaders throughout the regular season.
MLB Network. Do you watch Apple TV? Have you ever watched it? Have you watched an MLB game on Apple TV?
I have, and I'm honestly not the biggest fan of it. I
can't do it.
I like that you can trade the broadcasting out for Cubs fans. So
yes, I like that.
But the quality of it, it's like the streaming, it crashes a lot. It's laggy, and I don't know.
The announcers of the games, and I get it, trying to spread the game to everybody and try to teach everybody the game that hasn't normally watched baseball and everything like that. But it's almost like every little thing they try to explain the game of baseball itself. It feels like sometimes, and it's just it feels so over exaggerated and just wait. I mean, come on, dude. We get it. We get it. Right? We're not that dumb. We know some of the some of the rules and everything like that. But some of it is just way too much. But again.
Yes.
All these platforms, great. It just in my opinion, I guess it shows how much the game has grown and where the game is at right now. And in a spot where a lot of people were worried this last season about TV deals and stuff like that, maybe this is a positive. We'll see. But I mean, I guess it's good.
Yeah, and maybe it can start to take care of all these out of market issues. We live in Cincinnati, the blackout games, out of market game issues, stuff like that. You and I both live in technically Cincinnati Reds country, and I know we
I
have a
mean,
lot of
we have our ways, Steve, of
yeah.
watching our blacked out games. But you're right. It is annoying. It is annoying trying to. That's the number one thing. If this, for me, at least as a fan, if this can help prevent blackouts, then great, great.
Yeah, especially when you're
Because
already paying for stuff, and that's the
yeah,
biggest like headache. It's like, why am I paying for MLB Network? And let's say I live in Cincinnati or Cincinnati area, and I can't even watch the Reds if that's your favorite team.
for sure.
That's the whole big conundrum there. I guess they got to figure out, and I guess it's because when I think of the NFL, their rights are more national. I think
Mhm.
entire country, where MLB it's more what regional, I guess you would say, or market based, depending on where that team is at. So and it's like us as kids growing up over the years. Tyler and I are in our 30s, so you get WGN, you could watch Cubs games or Braves games. So if you lived in Kentucky like us and you're a Seattle Mariners fan, you were just kind of out of luck being able to watch Mariners games back in the 90s and early 2000s and stuff like that.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I
But
mean, maybe
hey,
this will help it out.
I just researched real quick. Netflix did do a partnership with MLB. It's for 3 years. They will have they'll have the home run derby. They have a game opening night and Field of Dreams, which is great because I have Netflix. Everybody has, even though it's another source that we have to pay for monthly, which I get it, whatever. But I will say I think I'm most excited about the Netflix deal because of the potential of more documentaries. If you haven't
Yeah,
watched that Red Sox documentary was great.
so good.
Um, there was one,
Clubhouse.
the clubhouse one was great. The '04 one was great, even though we've heard about the 2004 Red Sox for freaking ever now. There was one on Trey Turner that was great. And so hopefully they decide to do more stuff like that.
Yeah,
And HBO is another one too. When we talked about earlier about baseball and the deal and everything like that, they do good baseball stuff as well. I just started the
yeah.
Alex versus A-Rod documentary, and
Ooh,
which
I gotta
I've only
watch
got to
that.
see I only watched one episode so far, but that is my biggest thing, I guess, especially with HBO and Netflix, is the potential for that extra content like the documentaries and stuff like that. Because I know you do too. I'm a big wrestling fan, and I love it. I love it when they get to pull the curtain back and you get to see all that stuff. And
Yeah,
hopefully they do a lot of that with baseball as well.
absolutely. I mean, I think everybody, to a degree, you could argue is behind the scenes junkies. Of course, obviously, I think about that a lot in music. Doing what I do, being out on the road, it's like yeah, there's always going to be videos and pictures of us on stage, but I just remember as a kid being so engulfed with behind the scenes content. Like I wanted to see the road crew guys like pushing
Just
road
all of it.
cases, tuning guitars, setting up trucks, or setting up the show, unloading semi trucks. And I saw, even some content from that from our beloved Cubs this year. I think they had some content up. It was either for the Japan series or maybe spring
Yeah, they did
training.
one for the Japan. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just simple social media stuff like them loading a truck up and loading up gear
Yep.
and getting ready to start spring training or whatever. And I just love that, watching them mow the grass and stock the
I would
beer
pay
kegs and stock
I
the
would
relish.
pay as far as my MLB TV, I would pay extra a month if they offered pregame BP cams and you
Oh,
got to watch that.
great.
If they offered a pregame bullpen cam, watch
Yeah,
guys do their bullpen, and not just for me, being a junkie for like the behind the scenes stuff, but maybe like for kids that are
yeah,
trying to get to that next level. Hey, I want to watch Paul Skeens. I want to watch his pre-bullpen routine. I want to watch and see what he does getting ready for a game. I want to watch all that stuff. And I would pay extra to have a cam in the dugout
Oh
and just
yeah.
watching the dugout. Like have it, as I'm watching the game, maybe pull up in the corner just the dugout cam and you don't catch it. You catch it here and there during the regular season. I know John Boy Media does a good job of it. They'll be able to pick something up and do the whole lip sync thing and figure out what they were saying. By the way, I
Mhm.
did that 2 years ago. It was a San Francisco Cubs game, and I felt like just like, oh man, because I knew exactly what he said. But the playoffs, dude, during the playoffs, they'd show those cams and you just see what they're doing and talking about and the reactions and everything like that. And it's like,
Yeah.
dude, I would pay extra for a dugout cam as well,
Oh,
or a
absolutely.
dugout view, whatever you want to call it.
Absolutely. Just different content options like that. It gives us baseball junkies, different thing to kind of dive
Yeah,
into, indulge in. It's good for us, good for the
for sure.
kids. I love the
And
on-field interview stuff. You don't have to do
yeah,
it every game, but if it's certain special game like the Japan series this previous year,
yeah,
doing stuff during that. Obviously, they're going to do it in the All-Star game. Certain matchups like I don't know, Yankees and Dodgers when they play each other, um, Cubs and Cardinals. I don't know, just
Padres, Dodgers.
Padres, Dodgers. Yeah. Would you consider Seattle and the Diamondbacks kind of like a rival matchup, or maybe the Rangers and the Astros? That could be a good one.
Mm, I mean, obviously Yankees, Red Sox, Giants, Dodgers.
Yeah,
Uh,
those classic rival
give it
games.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
but yeah,
that's good.
so Peacock, HBO, ESPN, MLB, all of you, if y'all are listening, which I know you are, just consider our ideas, and all we ask is just a little percentage back. That's all.
Just a little bit. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Well, BR. Let me find the correct name of the page here. BR, was it BR Walk? I've got the graphic right here, and it's went away on me. But they came out with their ratings on the powder blue uniforms for this year, and they ranked them. They went with like 8, I believe. And here we go, right here from BR Walkoff. I saw their post on Instagram ranking all of MLB's powder blue jerseys for this season. And, you know, I've got my opinions. I'm sure you got your opinions. I
Mhm.
definitely don't think I would have put the St. Louis Cardinals number one. It is a sweet jersey, but um, if I had to at least give like my top 3, just thinking right out of the gate, I would probably put who would I put? I would probably go with Phillies number 1, Cubs number 2, and I like the Royals at number 3. And
Mhm.
then 4, I feel good about the Blue Jays there. I'd probably put St. Louis at 5. And then I would probably Tampa Bay Brewers. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think though out of all of these 8, I thought the Phillies powder blue unis and the Cubs were probably the sickest looking ones for me. What about you?
Uh, okay. I never will give St. Louis any credit at all, but if I had to, I'll be honest. Their jerseys, their baby blue jerseys, do look good. I'll give them that. That blue and the red, like the red, just pops. Um,
Yeah.
I would put Chicago up higher if here's the thing about their unis is it's just the jersey. Their pants, I wish they'd go all out and give me the baby blue pants, but I wish
Yeah.
they would go back to they had a jersey from it was a baby blue pinstripe jersey that was freaking awesome that they wore. It was either from the 70s or the 80s that I remember I clearly remember it was an away game in Oakland. Jake Arrieta was pitching. Rizzo was still on the team because I remember he wore the socks up with that jersey. But that's my favorite baby blue Cubs jersey that I wish they would wear right now. I would give up the blue they have now if they would bring those back. But those
I
Philly
forgot about
jerseys, the Royals, when I think baby blue, honestly, when I close my eyes and think MLB baby blue jersey, the first one I probably think of is the Royals just because I
Royals.
feel like they've rocked them for so long. And yeah, they are very basic. They got that basic font, kind of like how the Dodgers have their basic font. They're just the script font. But I will say those top three, you can make an argument, in my opinion. You could rank those top three however you want, and you could probably make, and even like that Phillies one, it pops to the like that crimson or whatever that is. I know it's yeah, it looks good. It does.
It's
But
just
yeah,
like a classic baseball jersey. The Phillies one kind of reminds me of like the Expos, like those two.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
powder
I can definitely
blue
see that.
that's been
Which
around.
I don't know why. Speaking of the Expos, I know the Nationals are basically they have the same link with the Expos, at least in MLB the Show. When they pull up Expos players, they're linked with the Nationals. I want to say something to do with their ownership is the same or something. But
Yeah,
if
well,
I'm
they
the
moved from
Nationals,
Montreal
if
to
if I'm
Washington.
the Nationals, why not have a freaking Montreal Expos jersey,
Go back.
a throwback night or something? Could you imagine the
Yeah,
sales of that jersey? Like, I know none of those Expos players played on the Nationals, but dude,
yeah. Well,
the
it's like
line
in
at the door
football.
would be around the stadium.
Yeah, and they could definitely do it. It reminds me in football that the Tennessee Titans are not in
Yeah,
Houston anymore, but they bring back the Houston
for
Oilers
sure.
uniform back on occasion for certain games. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think about that. Why don't they do that? Come
I
on,
don't know.
Nash.
That makes like
Yeah,
I don't know if there's like which speaking of documentaries, I haven't gone back and actually
it's
a
good.
Netflix doc on the
Yeah,
Expos right now.
just
I've
came out.
watched like the first 20 minutes of it. I need to go back and watch it, but I don't know if there's a thing with the actual Expos name that the Nationals don't own or something. Because I feel like they would have done that by now, surely. Because that's like a no brainer.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was such a good documentary. I'm glad you brought that up. I think I watched it. I either watched it right before the World Series started or during the World Series,
Mhm.
and I just kind of have this thing in the back of my head now. I'm wondering, like, will Canada ever get a second MLB team again?
I mean,
Maybe
surely
in
you would think.
Montreal.
You would
Yeah,
think, I mean, with the success that Toronto had, especially this last season. But then again, I mean, it's also kind of cool that you have that one team in Toronto. It's like that's Canada's team.
right.
But
Well,
that'd be cool.
there has been talks this past season and off season about MLB expansion, so could
You
be a
never know,
chance we
man.
get two more
You never
teams. We'll
know.
see what happens. I keep seeing a lot of Nashville and Portland brought up in the conversation
Gosh,
about
dude,
two
yeah,
cities
that'd
to
be
get one.
awesome. That'd
So
be great.
it'd be cool to go see one in Nashville for sure. But
Oh yeah.
if not Portland, I mean Portland would be a good spot for such a baseball area. There was a documentary I watched about Portland, Oregon.
Oh yeah, it was the
Bill.
battered bastards of baseball.
Yes,
Yes, and
Bill
it was owned
Russell,
by
something like that.
Bill
Is it Bill Russell?
it was Kurt Russell's dad.
Yeah, Kurt. It was his dad. His dad was named
His
Bill,
dad,
maybe.
Bing.
Bing.
They called
I
him
knew it
Bing.
started with a B.
Yeah.
I knew it started with a
It
B.
was the last I think it was the last professional independent team out there or something like that. And yes, that was which,
Yeah.
speaking of us being in the off season, if you're looking for stuff to watch, those two documentaries alone right there, like maybe we should do that for another episode. Like a
Oh,
just
you
we
beat me
have
to
like we just make a rank or a list of just you're
baseball
looking for
movies,
stuff to
documentaries.
watch. Yeah. But yeah, that was a
Yeah,
great one too, for sure. But yeah, Portland would be awesome. Portland would be awesome to
it would
have
be awesome.
another team.
I'm pretty sure Kevin Millar may have played there for a minute. He was kind of going through some in between stuff years
Hmm.
ago in his career. I'm pretty sure Kevin Millar played there at that team in Portland, Oregon. And oh, crap. What's his name? Big superstar player for the Mets. Oh, what is his name? Big superstar player for the Mets. This was like in the early 90s, I want to say. Maybe he got in some trouble with something. Oh, his name is at the tip of my tongue right now. He went and played there in Portland for that team that Kurt Russell had, and then he played like a season or two, and then I think he got a contract with the Yankees. I'm probably butchering this, but I'm all over. I can
Pitcher?
see. No, it's a
Uh,
batter. Oh man, I want to look
yeah, I
that
don't
up.
know.
That's gonna drive me crazy. Mets player that played independent baseball in Portland. That's going to drive me nuts. I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night, uh, and then it's going to come to me at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's how it goes.
But I know Kevin Millar was definitely one of them. I want to say his was it Strawberry?
Daryl Strawberry?
Daryl Strawberry. I'm pretty sure
Oh,
that's
I
who.
didn't know that.
Um, yep, it was Daryl Strawberry. Finally, it came to me. Strawberry. He played, or maybe it was earlier than the '90s, um, '80s or something like that. He joined the Mets in '83. Okay, so maybe it was like in the '80s or something like that. But yeah, whenever he got in trouble with some stuff, and I guess no, he got dropped. No other MLB team wanted to pick him up. He dropped down to independent baseball. Played there in Portland. Was it the Portland Mavericks or something like that? I want to say for like 2 seasons, and then got a chance to go back up to the big leagues. I'm pretty sure he got a contract with the Yankees after that. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll have to do a cool segment during this off season, talking about some baseball documentaries and baseball movies and stuff like that. And so that's always a good time, fun time. And again, I love how they're coming out with more stuff right now, like the
For sure.
'04 Red Sox. The clubhouse. I think it was just called Clubhouse, right? Over the Red
Clubhouse,
Sox.
like the clubhouse season with the Red Sox. Yeah, that was cool. That one.
There's a cool one on Trey Turner too. Whenever he was going through his slump and how the fans gathered around him to cheer him on, help bring him out of it. There's one on that one. So there's some good stuff out there. But getting into some trade rumors and free agent market stuff, one of the biggest one that's going on here recently is Sonny Gray is leaving the St. Louis Cardinals and he's going up to Boston to be a Red Sox. What do you think? You think he'll be their number 2 in the starting rotation, or where do you put him at in that starting rotation?
I mean, right now, because you don't have who's Giolito's a free agent. You still got Bayo, which he's a guy. I think he took a dip from. I think he took a step down from the season before. And the thing is, I feel like it would be a Red Sox thing to do to get Sonny Gray and expect him to be your number 2. If I look at it this way, if he has the season that he did with Minnesota just a few seasons ago, great. But if not, then it's going to be a lot like New York for him all over again. And if you go back and look at the stats and see some of the stuff from then, he did not like playing in New York with the Yankees. The Yankees don't forget either. He's going to be seeing them a lot this year, so that whole thing will be interesting. Hey, Sonny Gray though, Murfreesboro, Tennessee boy, and he's a Vandy boy. So you gotta, he's not super local, but still kind of cool to see. And I mean, yeah, he's making $35 million, but he's only the Red Sox are only having to pay $15 million of that. They do give up their number 5 prospect. Let's hope he's a bust though, because us Cubs fans are going to be seeing him probably for a little bit or maybe down the road. But yeah, man, if he can be anything like he was with the Twins, great. But that's asking a lot for a guy that's going to be 36 starting next season. And again, 36 for a starter isn't terrible. There's been a lot of pitchers find success after 35. So, I just hopefully he can bounce back. And I want to say they have it's just for one season. The Red Sox can buy that contract out, I believe, for $10 million, unless I say they can, but unless Sonny Gray decides to decline it, because he has that option as well. I guess it'll just depend on how he performs, especially early on.
That's true. And the Cardinals are getting Dick Fitz and Brandon Clark from the Red Sox. So we'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah. You got to have something. You got to have somebody to go with Garrett Crochet, dude. Have to, though. I mean, the season that he had, you could argue that he could have he could have won your Cy Young as well. I know you're going up against Tarek Skubal, but Crochet had a Cy Young worthy season as well. So honestly, for the Red Sox sake, I hope they pick up somebody else as far as an arm. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to see Tristan Campbell play this previous season when I went to see the Iowa Cubs play. I guess he was rehabbing with their AAA team. He should be back this year. That'll beef up their offense.
Tristan Casas?
No, that's their first baseman. It was
you're talking about is it Tristan Campbell or the guy he played second? Is it Tristan Campbell?
I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure that's right. I have been wrong before. Tristan Campbell. I'm butchering names today. No, Tristan Campbell's like a movie actor. What am I thinking about? Well, so is Will Smith, but there's also Will Smith in baseball. Christian Campbell. Sorry, I thought it was Christian.
Okay. Well, I remember hearing because I mean, I would say he bounces back. They still got they've got to bring back Bregman. If Sonny Gray, I look at it this way: if Sonny Gray is the only starting pitcher that they pick up this offseason, you have to bring back Alex Bregman, and you have to bring back another hitter. And
yeah, Christian needs time. He ended the season last year with 223 average, 6 homers, 21 ribbies, and 51 hits. You don't want to put pressure on him too soon because this will technically, I guess, be his sophomore year. But yeah, and I could go on a rant about that. You know, they do, I think, need to get Bregman back, another at bat back. That way Christian can, have proper development.
And you still got and I said Tristan Casas earlier. I meant Roman Anthony. You got Roman Anthony coming back from the IL. I don't even think he played in the playoffs last year. But again, another guy along with who you're talking about in Campbell, two guys that they're going to take time, even though they both have just got contracts. They signed new contracts last season, and they have a lot of high expectations. You've got to pencil that in with some very well-developed bats, and whether it's Alex Bregman, maybe Pete Alonso. I've seen links with him and Boston, and whoever else. You've got to do something else other than just Sonny Gray, and I think Red Sox fans would agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, you got to give these young guys time to develop. And, I know we're in a what have you done for me lately business. We all want to see our teams to do well, but fans, remember, we got to be a little bit patient, just like Oriole fans this previous season, 2025 season. It was Jackson Holiday's second season. Of course, he's going to go through somewhat of a sophomore slump. We're Cubs fans, so anticipating that a little bit with PCA next year. We were talking a little bit about that off air before we went on. I could go on a big rant if I wanted to about how the Cubs kind of didn't set Shota Imanaga up for success this previous season. But again, by the way, if you're Cubs fans like us, make sure that you tune in to Cubs on Tap with Tyler and the boys. They'll go in-depthly on all things.
We just dropped an episode, I think the end of last week. We talked a little bit about Shota a little bit, but yeah, just to agree, as far as it being a what have you done for me lately market as of late,
sophomore slumps.
You can even look at all the teams that all the teams that non-tendered a bunch of players last week, and even guys like Adolis Garcia of the Rangers, who just won a World Series 2 seasons ago with the Rangers, said, thanks, but no thanks. See you later.
Yeah.
And I know Christopher Morel has it. Jonah Heim, who I'm pretty sure made the All-Star team with the Rangers, said, see you later. Christopher Morel, all these guys. So yeah, like you said, it's a what have you done for me lately market. And with that being said, though, the Red Sox, hopefully they can add some help to that lineup if this is all they're going to do as far as when it comes to their starting rotation.
Yeah, because you got to have a mix of everything. You got to have a mix of some veteran players. You got to have mix of some guys that's in their second, third year, and you got to have some new faces that can come in and play, give you innings or give you good at bats. It just helps everything else out. And again, I just think that you're going to see older pitchers. Obviously, you're still very, very young if you're in your 30s in real life, but in the game of baseball, you're a little bit considered an older player if you're in your 30s. But, I still think that you're going to see some of these older pitchers still get contracts because you just need people who can give you innings. You just don't see a lot of starting pitchers that can go 6 innings anymore. You're seeing more openers in the game now, and of course when you get into October baseball and playoff time, that's a completely different story. I think that's another reason maybe why they wanted Sonny Gray, as the strikeout looks good, strikeouts to walks looks okay, hoping that that's someone that can give them at least maybe 5 innings come playoff time for the
Yeah,
Red Sox.
for sure.
So we'll see. Ryan Hesley's another guy. I'm anxious to see, where he goes. And again, I think that more teams need to be active during the winter months and signing players, getting players, because you don't want to take a chance on the trade deadline in the middle of the season and have to like overpay for somebody. I
Sure.
think, moving forward, the way things are now, your best option may be to go out in the off season during the winter months and get some deals done, because when that trade deadline comes, like we've seen recently, there's teams, they know what they got, and they're going to charge or they're going to want way too much in return. It's like, I think I was hearing something earlier this week or last week about the Cubs trade for the Mackenzie Gore or something like that. And I think
Mhm.
like for Mackenzie Gore, or is it Edwin Cabrera? It's one of those two. They were wanting
I,
like,
I, I
Matt
love either one
Shaw.
of them.
They were wanting Matt Shaw. They were wanting Owen Casey, and they were wanting Cade Horton.
Yeah,
You know, so
I don't know
unless
about
you're
that.
you're wanting to give up stuff like that, if any team is wanting to give up stuff like that throughout the season in the middle of a trade, or middle of the season at the trade deadline to fill in holes and needs. I mean, that's what you're looking at now, when you could be better off making some moves during the winter months and the off season. So
For sure.
there's still a lot of names up on the board. We'll see what happens. But another big blockbuster trade that went down was between the Texas Rangers and the New York Mets for Brandon Nimmo to the Texas Rangers, and the Mets are getting Marcus Simeon, which is interesting to me because um, Brandon Nimmo, what I think his contract was like, what, for 5 more years for like what, 120 million ish, somewhere in there. And
Oh wow, I
then
didn't know that.
Marcus Simeon, I mean, his offense is kind of declined. There's the Adolis Garcia one. I meant to bring that one up earlier, but Simeon, his offense has kind of declined the past 2 seasons. I guess maybe the Mets is wanting Simeon for his glove. He is a solid defensive player, but I don't know if I would have done that trade. Would you have, if you're the Mets, would you have traded away
I think
Nimio for Simeon?
I think part of what this is Mets ownership. Uncle Stevie is possibly clearing up a little bit of room, maybe to go after a big fish, maybe Kyle Tucker with the Mets. Marcus Simeon, yeah, he didn't have the best offensive season last year. He did have a nagging little injury at the end of the year. I think it was the end of the season. So it was close to the end of the season that kind of kept him out for several weeks. But
Yeah,
Simeon, dude, you're talking about a guy that just in 2023 finished top 3 in MVP voting. A guy that definitely prides himself in playing every day. This season was the first season that he has not played in at least 155 games since 2015. He's had 3
Wow.
seasons of 162 games, like playing the full season, full 162. He had another season where he played 161, and then he had 3 separate seasons as well, playing at least 159 games. So, and I get it.
Yeah.
He's 36. Father time catches up to him a little bit, but if he can come in and just show a little bit of thump in that lineup, he's coming off a Gold Glove award winning season. So he's, like you said, he's got that with him too. If he can do that, maybe he can be a good yin and yang with Francisco Lindor at short. And if they can bring in another guy, whether it's bringing back a Pete Alonso, which if they do that, I feel like they have to do more than just that. Or maybe they do get a guy in Kyle Tucker, which I think you could argue that maybe Uncle Steve Cohen gives Kyle Tucker the most amount of money. But I feel like with Tucker in New York, I just don't know. Part of me says that he's not going to play in New York because I just don't personally. I don't think he could play a full season in New York, whether it's with the Mets or the Yankees. But those may be the 2 teams that offer him the most money. But if Simeon can just show it, and you say this about every player, if he can stay healthy, I think he's going to put up his numbers in New York just as much as he has, whether it's been with Texas, Toronto, Oakland, any of those teams. It's just it's just one of them classic 1-for-1 trades.
Yeah. Or would they have been better off making a phone call down to San Diego? Because I can't remember who reported it. Maybe Ken Rosenthal or Jeff Passan won that the Padres are actively looking to trade Fernando Tatis Jr. I think it'd be a great pickup for anybody, but at the same time, I get it. Maybe they want to move him to kind of clear up some money, but I don't know. He seems like one of those dudes for the Padres you would think they'd want to build around, like him and Manny.
I mean, you look at Fernando Tatis, like I will believe Fernando Tatis being traded when the deal is done and he is legitimately on another team. His contract, he signed a 14-year, $340 million contract, which is a steal. But I get it. He had his PED suspension and everything like that. But ever since then, he's bounced back and he's been the same guy that he was before. He's a guy that before all the PED stuff, people were saying he's the next face of baseball. He's the future face of baseball, everything like that. He's got the swag. He's got the talent to back it up. I don't know why in the world. The only reason that I would see Fernando being traded is so they have a situation with their ownership. And I don't know the legit details of it, but it sounds like ownership with them has been divided with like 3 separate people in one single family, and it's becoming like a poo-poo show. And so maybe the only reason why I could see that happen is if just like the walls are crumbling and they're just like, screw it, we're blowing this whole thing up. And Tatis, we can get all kinds of stuff back for Tatis. Manny Machado, I'm not 100% sure because he's got a big fat contract as well. He's I want to say he's probably 34, 35, something like that. What do you get for him? Not sure, but maybe they look at it as a situation where we can trade Fernando Tatis and get a whole new farm system. But for $340 million for Fernando Tatis, and I'm just looking at this from a Chicago perspective. Yeah, you tell me what 3 guys you want in our farm system, and we'll give them to you for Fernando Tatis Jr. Sure, sign me up for sure. But I don't see that. I really don't see them doing that. But again, you never know, I guess.
Well, you would think you have to keep him, because who else would you get? I mean, the division that they're in, they have to be able to compete with the Dodgers.
Yeah, for sure. Like what? How you're losing?
You're losing Dylan the Dodgers if you lose him. Yeah, and you're losing Dylan Cease.
You're losing.
You're possibly going to lose Michael King.
Probably going to lose Michael King. You've got Yu Darvish. I want to say he's out next year, and you're paying him for the next. It feels like 5 more seasons. You got Joe Musgrove coming back.
So who's pitching and who's batting for the Padres?
You're losing. Yeah, so you're losing Robert Suarez out of your bullpen.
Yeah,
you've got Jackson Merrill, which is great. Unless Fernando's just like, I want out of this place or something. I don't know. Yeah, you get rid of Tatis Jr. and then what's left? Because like I said, Manny Machado, he's getting older, and you're still paying him a crap ton of money. And then isn't it crazy? Even, and I'm not trying to say that the Padres are this is going to happen or everything like that, but like it's crazy to look at the Padres lineup on paper this coming up season, what it could potentially look like compared to just 2 seasons ago when you had a lineup of Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado. It's just crazy to think about. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of the Nationals too. I can't remember what.
Yeah.
There's a great. I can't remember the guy's name on YouTube, but he puts together these really cool videos of like 90s baseball, the 2000s baseball, and different kind of stuff like that, and just seeing who was on that World Series team for the Nationals. When did they win? Was it 2019?
2019.
And who all was on that team? Francisco Lindor, I'm pretty sure.
Which, speaking of it's funny you say the 2019 Nationals.
Maybe not Lindor.
Is there anything else you want to comment on Fernando Tatis? Because this would be a perfect. I mean, for the rumors and stuff we're talking about, it popped up on my phone like 5 minutes ago. So you're bringing up the 2019 Washington Nationals, right? And we're talking about rumors and stuff like that and the free agent market. I just got a notification on my phone from Jesse Rogers that
is this breaking news?
The Los Angeles Angels are having talks right now with Anthony Rendon about buying out his contract.
Wow. That'll be interesting.
I believe this is the final year of his contract, and they are supposedly having talks because I'm sure the Angels are sick and tired of watching Anthony Rendon come in on the very first day of spring training and be like, "Oh, I gotta have surgery again." I swear, like that dude has to like the week before it's time to report, he's probably just chilling at the house. Like, okay, somebody like, hey, he asked one of his kids, "Hey, hit me in the elbow with a plastic bat or something, or I'm going to fall off a ladder and just see what breaks." And then you just walk into spring training. Yeah, I've got to get like my hip replaced or something or whatever. Like, I swear he's the classic case of, and it is what it is. He worked hard to get to where he got to in 2019 as far as in baseball and the World Series and everything like that. He got to that point, got his ring, got his contract with LA, and was just like, ciao, later. And the Angels are probably just sick and tired of seeing it. Mike Trout's probably sick of seeing it. And
did you see the Thanksgiving meme of him where it was the one of him, like they photoshopped him laying down on the ground, looking hurt, but it was like him trying to pick up a turkey in the grocery store.
That's exactly what would happen. Oh man, I blew my back out, getting the turkey out of the oven and putting it on the table. Like, that's Anthony Rendon. Amazing. But don't say it to him. Don't say it to him at the games live, because he will come up in the stands and grab you by the jersey. Just ask the Oakland fans from a few seasons ago. He'll go Tommy Pham on you in a minute. So
right,
yeah, just don't say it to his face.
And Anthony, if you see this, we're not trying to be rude or anything. We just got a podcast. We got to talk about some baseball stuff. We wish you the best. Hope you have a good retirement. If that's what's forecasted, that's what's next for you, come on the show. We can talk about it if you want to. That's
if you want to, for sure. But just crazy just to see right there.
Well, there's been some new hirings this off season, and specifically for the Colorado Rockies, Warren Schaefer to return as Rockies manager in 2026. The Rockies have a new president of baseball operations, but they'll welcome back the same dugout leader for the 2026 season. The club announced that Warren Schaefer, who served as interim manager after Bud Black's firing back in May of this year of 2025, will return as the skipper for the 2026 campaign. Patrick Saunders of the Denver Post reported the news prior to the team announcement. Saunders adds that it'll be a multi-year deal for Schaefer, though it's unclear exactly how many years he is signed for. though changes are coming to Colorado, the club is going for a bit of a continuity by keeping Schaefer around. The Rockies have been free falling lately, that's for sure. 2025 was their seventh straight losing season, fourth straight in the last place in the National League West, and third straight with at least 101 losses. That's insane. In that time, they have developed a reputation for being loyal and insular to a fault, as well as resistant to adapting to the modernization of the game. The Rockies and the Angels, that's two jobs that I don't think I would want.
I mean, Colorado's cool and it's a nice town and stuff. I mean, obviously, hypothetically, if somebody offered me the Rockies job, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'd love to be a manager there. But yeah, it seems like those guys, at least some of the players, really, really respect Schaefer. It's going to be hard. Let's be honest. Let's say he leaves and they try to hire somebody else, even if it's some popular manager that everybody wants. Like, what's the right now? What that roster is, what it is. No offense, but when you have guys like Kyle Freeland, who come out and basically say, "Hey, look, we're serious about this organization." He's like ride or die Colorado, and hats off to him. Props to him for wanting to ride out the storm and everything like that. But Schaefer's young. I think he's 40. And he's a guy that it seems like the players respect and the players like having around. So that's a plus, positivity in the clubhouse. Yeah. I still think though, I've said this, and yeah, they're in the same division as the LA, so I get that. But I don't think Colorado sniffs the playoffs until they get an indoor stadium. I mean, will it happen? Probably not, because I mean, that's why people like going to those games, just because of the stadium. It's awesome and everything like that. But hey, good for Schaefer. And he knows, sure. I mean, obviously he knows what he's got himself into. Hopefully he can just build himself into something that he can help build it eventually into something that, produces good baseball in Colorado.
Granted, yeah, because there's still a few
that starts with ownership. That starts with ownership, spending money.
Yeah.
But yeah, and speaking of the Rockies,
years away from contention,
for sure, they're years and years away.
Probably not the focus right now, but it would make sense to prioritize things like you're alluding to, player relationships,
for sure,
development, stuff like that. And I know he's got some history. Schaefer does with some of these young dudes. I think dating back to some of the minor league days for some of these young players, but. They've got some things they've got to work on. That's
I want to see Chris Bryant have it. And he's dealing with some. He's actually, I want to say he's has some type of, is it like a disease or something? It's some type of bone issue with his spine or something. But
degenerative disc or back disease.
Yeah, like I would just love to see him have a healthy 162, because when he first made this deal, I was like, this guy's going to be a front runner for MVP, because he's going to turn Colorado into like a launching pad. He's not going to have any stress playing out in Colorado. It's going to be very chill, everything like that. And he's just constantly bit by the injury bug. And I hate that for him, because he's a guy that I'd love to see have some success in Colorado. But yeah, congratulations to old Warren.
Yeah, best of luck to him. Hopefully they'll have a different season this coming season, especially for all the Rocky fans. But we are, as we're recording today, we're about 98 days out from the World Baseball Classic. And you guessed it, Shohei Ohtani will play for Team Japan. Is it safe to say that Japan and USA are the two teams to beat in the World Baseball Classic this year? What do you think?
I don't know. Okay, USA's team is looking pretty stacked. Japan, I mean, you're going to have Ohtani. You'll probably, I don't know if, I wonder if Sale will play, and I wonder if Roki Sasaki will play. I wonder if Yamamoto will pitch and stuff like. I don't know. I don't wonder if those guys will play. You can't ever count out the Dominican Republic. I don't even know if much of their roster has been has been released yet, but you can't ever count out those guys. But dude,
Francisco Lindor is going back to play
Puerto
for his
Rico,
country too. Yeah, I
Puerto
think I saw
Rico.
it.
Yeah, dude, you look at USA's lineup, and I'm excited. I'm excited. Hopefully, they get some more guys that want to step up and play. And I'm ready for that USA Japan rematch. I'm ready to see. And we talked about this over last week when we were doing our Cubs on Tap episode because PCA's getting he made the lineup or he made the roster.
Yeah,
We talked about how we think Nico Horner would be great for second base.
for
But
sure.
I'm excited to potentially see the Shohei Ohtani Aaron Judge matchup. That would be
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah,
I wouldn't hate it if I'm Mike Trout too, I would be like, hey, sign me up. I'm calling Mark DeRosa and just be like, hey man, I'm
yeah.
playing because I ain't winning crap with the Angels right now. We just traded away Taylor Ward and we can't develop any pitching. Let me just play on your guys' team. Let me win something before it's too late.
Let me have
So
some
he's a
fun.
guy that I hope sees return. I hope we get to see him return to Team USA. But dude,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it because it's also you get tired of watching the same old spring training crap, and so this gives you something to really
Oh
look
yeah.
forward to in the spring. We're waiting for the season to start.
Salvador Perez, he's been named the captain of Team Venezuela for the World Baseball Classic. And it's crazy. You could watch Team USA, let's say, play like Team Venezuela with Salvador Perez. And, to round out one of these teams like Venezuela, they may have just like some contractors on the team, some plumbers, some mailman, maybe school teachers, and they're just out there just going yard, hitting bombs. That's one thing I love about it, too.
Yeah,
There'll probably be some players go to Team Italy, I would say, and play
yeah.
there. But yeah, very excited that we'll have some baseball back for everybody here in about 98
Which, by the
days.
way, that'd be awesome to go. I want to say the finals.
Is it Miami?
The finals are close to the end of March. I believe it's closer to the end of March, and yes, they'll finish off in Miami.
Yeah.
So that would be awesome. But there's no telling how much a ticket for that would be. That would be close to probably World Series ticket territory. But boy, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. To go see a World Baseball Classic game.
That'd be real fun.
I think I saw Team USA. They have to play one, or at some point during this, there's going to be some games at South Florida, somewhere around Miami or something
Mhm.
like that. But we'll see what happens. All right, Tyler, to finish things off on this episode, got a little bit of baseball trivia for you from this previous season. And want to hit you with
Oh
some
boy.
stuff, see what you got. All
Okay.
right. So, first question: which team had the best regular season record in 2025, finishing with 97 wins in the regular season?
It's got to be Milwaukee, right?
Right. Correct. A lot of people would just automatically assume that it was the LA Dodgers,
Yeah.
but it's
Just to remind
fascinating.
everyone, they lost. They got spanked by. Well, I can't talk crap about them because they made Chicago look stupid. So never mind.
Right. So, yeah, you would, I was, if you'd asked me at the beginning of the season, I would have said, oh, yeah, the Dodgers would probably
Oh
at
yeah,
least
I would
about
not have bet
100
Milwaukee.
wins.
I would
Two.
not have been shocked if you said Milwaukee was going to win the division. That doesn't shock me, but for them to have the best record, yeah, I would have been a little surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um, okay. Which two players were honored as the Platinum Glove winners for best overall defender in their respective leagues?
So I know Fernando Tatis won the
That is
NL.
correct. The next
The
player is on Team USA, by the way, the World Baseball Classic. I
so
think
it's
he's going to be playing
Bobby
for
Witt.
Bobby Witt.
Bobby Witt.
You got it. So Bobby Witt for the AL, Kansas City Royals, of course, and Fernando Tatis
Right.
Jr. And I think I got one more for you. Where'd it go? Okay, yeah. Which team this previous season started the season with the longest undefeated streak, going 8-0 before their first loss?
Mm.
We actually just talked about them a second ago.
Oh, the Padres.
They're in California. I'll give you that. Very, very good, a close answer.
And it wasn't
Wasn't Padres.
and I want to. I mean, the obvious answer would be the Dodgers, but I don't think they started off 8. Did they start off 8-0?
It was the LA Dodgers. Started
Oh,
8-0.
I just feel like that was going to be like a trick question because yeah, it's the Dodgers for sure. But
yep, had the longest undefeated streak and ended up winning the World Series. So
my other guess would have been Tampa because Tampa always lately I don't was it 24 they had a stupid run to start off the season, like it was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't remember what what the record was, but like I feel like they had some type of they started off on some ridiculous winning streak. Fun fact,
3 or is that
it
last
may have been
year?
2023. Fun fact, 1 year in college, we started off the season. It was either 0-16 or 0-18. It was miserable. I want to say we started off 0-16. We did everything too, dude. We turned the dugout into our own personal little cheering section. I think that was my freshman year, I think. And boy, we did everything. We ended up making it all the way to the to our conference championship that year too. But yeah, started off the season, but that just goes to show it's not how you start, Steve. It's how you
finish. I may have to do some deep diving on the interwebs, see if I can find any of your college baseball highlights.
There's none. There's no highlights.
No
There's
highlights,
nothing.
no
There's
stats.
nothing about my stat card to brag about. I swear to you, it's
just even a video you swinging for the fences. You know, something.
If we had baseball savant in college, my savant would be ice cold blue. That when you clicked on it, your screen would crack from how frozen it is. That's what my savant page would look like. So, yeah, if you want a good laugh, you can find it. It's probably somewhere out there. But yeah, nothing.
We'll see. Maybe we can
nothing that's gonna highlight the back of the baseball card.
Dig up a nice at bat or a good throw or something like that. We'll see what happens. But that's going to do it for us on this episode of the Dugout Dispatch. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. Hey, we're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. X, our pages for Dugout Dispatch. Also, Tyler and I have our own personal pages. We probably talk more on X about baseball stuff and sports stuff going on. So make sure you hit us up. Follow us on there. We'll be having some more episodes, off-season content.
Yeah, comment on our stuff. Give us ideas as far as if you have something you want to bring up, we'll talk about it on the show. If you have any or just ideas as far as rankings or something, give us all kinds of off-season ideas, dude, because
absolutely I'll have to dig through some we got some good comments on our TikTok page on some videos we've dropped recently. So next episode I'll have to pull some of those comments up, shout out some of those people, and get our fans involved in the conversation, baby, right here on Dugout Dispatch. Hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving holiday season. Enjoy some time with the fam, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Later.